Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words in the news. Here is a story about a court case involving mobile phone technology.
Samsung called the verdict a loss for the American consumer. Law professor Robin Feldman agrees. She says the verdict will lead to less innovation, fewer choices, and higher prices for consumers.
A consumer is a person who might purchase goods or services. Many companies advertise to get consumers to buy their products. Consumer is a word you often hear in economic and business stories.
Now, when you hear the word consumer, your American English will be good enough to know what it means. To learn more news words, visit our website, learningenglish.voanews.com.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words you hear in the news.
This is a word you sometimes hear in stories about the armed forces of nations.
Convoy. Last week, videos surfaced on YouTube of 3 modern T-64 tanks clanking through the streets of rebel-controlled Donetsk. Then, NATO released satellite photos indicating that the tanks came from southern Russia as part of a larger weapons convoy that included rocket launchers.
A convoy is a group of vehicles traveling together for protection.
In this story, the convoy was from Russia, and it included heavy military vehicles.
Now, when you hear the word convoy,
you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words in the news.
This word is one you hear in many stories about politicians. It has to do with trust.
The president's credibility has suffered serious damage, says analyst Stu Rothenberg. He says that will have an impact on Democratic candidates in next year's midterm elections.
Credibility. It means you can believe and trust what a person says. It is a good quality to have. So when politicians lose credibility, their popularity goes down too.
Now, when you hear the word credibility, you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words. This word is about the conflict between Israel and Hamas.
Crippling.
Despite weeks of crippling airstrikes on Hamas targets, polls suggest many in Israel feel Mr. Netanyahu did not go far enough in destroying the militant group.
Crippling means to cause severe damage. It makes something or someone unable to operate as before.
Israel dropped many bombs on Hamas targets, causing great damage.
A person with a crippling disease cannot move normally.
So, the next time you hear the word crippling, you will know what this news word means.
Check out our Facebook page, VOA's Learning English, and friend us. Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words. Listen to this report about the Ebola virus in Africa.
the speaker is American Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield. She is talking about two African leaders who could not come to Washington for talks.
We understand what they're doing and why they had to make the tough decision not to come to Washington, but to stay at home and address this critical problem.
The word critical has several different meanings.
In our story, critical means very serious or important. Critical can also mean a turning point for something. For example, a battle could be a critical point in a war, when one side takes the lead.
Now, when you hear the word critical, you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we talk about words you hear in the news.
This word is about the oil industry.
Crude.
U.S. gasoline prices are at the lowest level in years thanks to falling crude oil prices. Crude prices plunged because slowing economies in Europe and Asia reduced demand for energy, just as surging crude production in the United States increased the oil supply.
Here, crude means oil that is unprocessed.
Oil is shipped in crude form and finished at refineries or factories. Crude can also describe people's behavior. It means they are rough and have bad manners.
So the next time you hear the word crude, you will know what this news word means.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words. This word is about someone who doesn't agree with the rules. Defiant.
Although both men are members of the Shiite Dawa party, Mr. Maliki's supporters remain defiant, saying they would fight the decision, and the veteran Iraqi leader has vowed to sue the president for failing to nominate him for a third term.
Defiant. Defiant comes from the word defiance. It means someone who does not obey the rules or laws. Another word for a defiant person is a rebel.
Here is another example. Sometimes children are defiant when they fight going to bed.
So now, the next time you hear the word defiant, you will know what this news word means. Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words. Here is Ambassador Ryan Crocker speaking about Iraq.
We're at an extremely delicate time throughout the region, certainly in Iraq, as the Iraqis struggle to form a government that needs to be inclusive enough that it will bring the Sunnis back into the process.
Delicate. Something that is delicate can break easily. The ambassador says that the situation in the region must be handled very carefully.
Delicate also can mean pretty. A delicate object is pleasing to look at and carefully made.
Now, the next time you hear the word delicate, you will know what this news word means, and you can use it in a conversation.
Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words. This word has to do with talking. Listen to U.S. Vice President Joe Biden speaking at an American-Chinese conference.
Leaving the military dimension of our dialogue underdeveloped on both sides causes us to run unnecessary risk. So I welcomed yesterday the round of strategic security dialogue and the enhanced dialogue between our senior military leaders.
A dialogue is when people speak with one another. It is a discussion, an exchange of ideas to work out differences. And in movies and books, dialogue is what we call the words that people speak.
Now, when you hear the word dialogue, you will know what this news word means.
For more news words, visit our website at learningenglish.voanews.com. Welcome to the Voice of America's News Words, where we teach you about words in the news. Listen for the word in this story that has to do with opposition.
It's not clear what Khodorkovsky's immediate plans might be, but Rohr and others close to the dissident say he's unlikely to pursue a political career for now.
Dissident. It is a person who strongly disagrees with a political state, an organization, or even a religion.
Dissidents actively oppose governments, and often they are jailed for their beliefs and opinions.
Now, when you hear the word dissident, you will know what it means. To learn more news words, visit our website, learningenglish.voanews.com.